Living in rural New Mexico, sometimes it's hard to make ends meet. I'm going to show you today how to make rustic 3-bean chili using about $10 worth of produce and canned goods to turn it into 6 quarts of delicious Texas chili. One of the most important things you have to do is keep the jars sterilized and hot when you put hot food in before pressure canning. So in a large steel pan, already sprayed so it doesn't stick, brown up 2 pounds of 80-20 hamburger meat. When it's 3/4 of the way browned out, put in 1 small diced onion, and let it keep going for about another minute or so. The next step is to add the spices. 1.5 tablespoons of cumin, 1 healthy tablespoon of red chili flake, 1 tablespoon of mild chili powder. Give that a good stir. Let the spices heat through the meat. Then fold in the garlic. Always put it in last because you don't want to burn it. And now we start the cheat. Yeah, I could probably have soaked a whole mess of beans, but why bother when I can buy them canned for like 50 cents a can? Don't bother rinsing them, just put them in, all the goodness and all. So in this pot I have 2 cans of black beans, 2 cans of red kidney beans, and 3 cans of light kidney beans. Next I'm going to add 4 cans of ready diced tomatoes with all of their juice. So bring this up to a boil, turn the heat down, and let it simmer for at least 45 minutes. Then you can taste it and add salt and pepper if necessary, or maybe more chili flakes. This looks and smells fantastic. Once it's hot all the way through, it's time for the fun part. It's time to start ladling it into the sterilized bottles. So every single can gets filled up with hot food, can meaning the glass jars. So that's the last one. We're going to wipe the edge with a clean paper towel. Make sure it sets well. Take your good lid that you've sterilized, hand crank it down just as tight as you can, wipe the outside of the jar down, and nestle them in the pressure cooker. Follow the directions of every pressure cooker individually. Inside the cooker is a mark that'll tell you exactly how much clean water to put in it. Try to get the jars nestled in so they're not touching the walls or touching each other. Once you get the seal set, put the weight in place. Bring it up to speed so it's at 15 psi for this altitude. This is the sound you're looking for, and we're at 15 psi. So now we turn down the heat just to keep it there and run it for 90 minutes. So set a timer. So after the 90 minutes, you turn off the timer, turn off the heat, and take the weight off. Now I'm going to warn you, it's going to scream like a banshee when you take the weight off. Just walk out of the room for a little bit. Once the gauge has gone all the way down to 0 and you've let it rest for a little while, then you can open it up. So if you look real careful, you can see the bubbling. It's still cooking inside, creating a negative pressure vacuum. And as it creates the vacuum, the lids will drop down, and that's what makes that happy popping sound. So when you're done labeling them, put them up in the pantry, and that's that. Whether it's a long day in the office or a hard day out in the field, it's always good to come home to a hot cooked meal. Time to enjoy. Mm.